I know it's been a long time since the last time I recorded a video. Feels like it's been alive. However, I had a few things going on. I actually recorded so many videos. I think I recorded three other videos, and I have not posted any of them, mainly because some of them were bad. At least one of them was bad, and then the other two were actually really good. The last one was really good. It was one that I wanted to film for a long time. It was sort of a podcast that I filmed with my friend. Not the idea of filming it with my friend was the thing that I wanted to do, but it's like the area in which I recorded the video was pretty nice, and I wanted to sort of like record a video there for a long time. And I'm probably gonna record it another video in the same location with my girlfriend once she comes to visit me here in Peru. Either way, it's been a long time. A lot of things have happened, and sometimes I postpone these videos, even though I love doing this. I love speaking in front of the camera. However, I feel like I postpone doing it because it just turns into performing after some time. It turns into, oh, so you're trying to provide some value to people here. Know what I'm saying? And sometimes you're not able to because you don't have many sound ideas. But I think the only thing that can stimulate those ideas from you know stimulates those ideas to form into sound and coherent ideas is actually thinking. It's actually trying to address them. Um, and I would say that's not something that I really try to do constantly because I just wait for the perfect moment in which they're formed and I can express them. However, I will try to force myself to engage in that process of like actually creating them more actively. Now, it's been a long time. I got a job as a medical interpreter. I stopped sort of pursuing being an English teacher, even though I loved teaching English. The few, not few actually. I spent like almost a year being an English teacher, and I had a lot of calls and a lot of clients. However, it was kind of hard for me to reach a lot of people, so I did not have like enough time to sort of go through that plateau. I think you call it plateau, right? Like when you're just flat, just not making a lot of progress. I think I'm way too impatient for that. Um, and yeah, I just chose something new, and I went from being a medical interpreter. Honestly, it was pretty hard at the beginning, and then I realized that it was actually just the company in which I was, because now in the company where I am, there's less stress, and I feel much comfortable. Now, there in the company, I realized something cool. I was reading this book that I already mentioned in this channel. It is like Discourses by Epictetus, right? And he says in this book that the man, the slave, resents freedom once he turns free, because he realizes that when he's free, he is more of a slave to multiple masters, whereas when he was an official slave, a slave to someone, he was only a slave to one person, and that person takes care of all of your needs, your food, whatever you need. He just provides it to you because he needs you alive and he needs you to do whatever task you're assigned to do. However, when you're free, you have to take care of those tasks, of all of those necessities that you have. You have to cover all of them, right? And of course, he was actually talking about, how being on your own, or like having freedom, allows you to, or not allows you, but puts you in the mercy of all of these pleasures and necessities that you have to fulfill. And the same way can be said by being independent in a job. When you're independent, you have to care about a lot of things. You don't have this pressure factor that you have when you are an employee. This pressure factor makes you wake up and be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It's like, uh, I don't know, like 15 past something. I have to go to work. I have to get up early. I have to do this. I have to meet this deadline. And it's that pressure which makes us, a lot of us at least, productive. You know, Many of us don't have discipline. A lot of people think it is discipline when you like get up in the morning, go to school, study for 4 hours or work for 4 hours or do a great job at your position at work and whatever. But in reality, most of the time it's just that pressure, you know? It's just the fact that you're a slave to the system of your job, you know? However, when you're independent, all of these things that your job provides you with are things that you yourself have to take care of, you know what I'm saying? And this can be set by a lot of factors in this case, because it can be also for savings, your retirement. When you're independent, you have nobody taking care of that. Usually when you're not independent, they do take care of that, and stuff like that. However, when you're independent, you're not. But the first thing that I want to talk about in this case would be when you are dependent on someone. When you're independent, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. When you're independent, you have to force yourself to do the hard thing. There's nobody else on your back telling you, "Hey, do this, otherwise this is gonna happen." There's no motivation or deterrence in this case from doing the things that you want to do instead of working. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, you could easily just skip work today. It's fine. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna tell you anything. It's only you against you. However, you can negotiate with yourself, and that is where discipline comes in. Discipline is choosing to do the thing, that is choosing to go to the discomfort that is needed for you to get something that is beneficial for you. That is discipline. Discipline is not doing something because you're forced to, or doing something because you fear the outcome of doing the other thing. You know what I'm saying? So at least that's what I experienced there in that job. I realized, like, damn, now I actually have to. I mean, I do that every day as of today, and I don't have any problem with that. Like, I just clock in at a certain time of a day, and I work for as much as I set myself to work for every single day. So it's no problem with that. But my thing was, like, when I did not have a goal, I was wondering. I did not have like a plan for the day. I did not have a schedule. It was like, oh, I quit this job because I quit the first job as a medical interpreter because it was pretty stressful, and I was pretty much left on my own. You know what I'm saying? All this time was unlocked in front of me, and all I had to do was waste it away because I didn't have a good idea of what I wanted to do. But either way, I would say at that time I was just wasting it away mainly because I didn't really have anything good to do. But now that I can work, it's not discipline. I mean, maybe it's discipline. I just enjoy it. I'm just chill with it. I just want to go and work and do, make the money and chill. And I work for very little, to be honest. And I'm very thankful that I can at least have this job right now. However, we're still on our way to financial stability. I wouldn't consider myself financially stable as of right now. I have very few bills, and hypothetically, if something were to happen tomorrow and I had to take care of myself, things probably wouldn't be as easy. Either way, so one of the things that I've been struggling with as well, because I've been making content constantly on TikTok, has been just social media in general. I feel like back in the day, back in like 2014, 2012, or something like that, I feel like, content creation was some sort of hobby, an actual hobby, not just getting in front of the camera and performing. Nowadays, I feel like even things like what I'm doing right now, just speaking in front of the camera, can turn into a performance. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, people were just, making funny videos, and they just found themselves making money. That's how it was. I don't think Rubius, PewDiePie, whoever sat there and said, I'm making money. A lot of people who go for content creation nowadays, most of them at least, are there because, hey, I want to make money. Like, that's their first thought when they start creating content, which is crazy. Back in the day, it was just an accident that you made money, and now it is the whole goal. And now I'm not gonna try to, portray myself as a perfect, I don't know, misunderstood content creator or anything like that, because of course it would be great if I could make money out of this, but I hate the idea of like trying to perform for someone else. You know, I hate the idea of being like, hey, I don't want to make videos today. I don't want to sit in front of the camera because my ideas are not good enough. I need to show myself as a perfect, thinker right here before I can even post anything. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, a lot of YouTubers actually quit for a short period of time because I guess the money is too good for you to quit for real. But a lot of them quit and then come back and tell you, hey, I quit because I could not take it anymore. Like, I felt pressured to be better than my former self, and to a certain extent it just got old, and I overexerted myself and it was not healthy. I feel like, these videos, for me at least, started being a way for me to express my feelings and my opinions and allow myself to be flawed. Like, if you watch my first video at least, you will see like I literally just like show myself all my imperfections. I just show them to you and I tell you, hey, this is me. This is probably one of the things that scarred me the most in my childhood, and as of right now I'm sort of learning how to rewire my brain. And when I see some people, whoops, when I see some people like, what's wrong with my computer? There we go. So when I see some people making money out of this and seeing it as a business rather than as something that you could like do for a living, it's contagious. They see it as something that, sorry, I completely lost my train of thought right there. My computer just turned off. Either way, what I was going to say is, like, when I see these people trying to constantly outperform themselves, that is when it gets contagious, because you feel like you should be doing the same. You feel like you should show yourself in front of the camera and be perfect. At least that's how I feel, because this is the type of content that I make. When I see other people perfectly articulating themselves and giving good ideas that spark some thought in me, I'm like, whoa, I wish I could be like that, you know what I'm saying, in my videos or in my short form content. However, truly, I just want to sit in front of the camera and speak, and hopefully people like it. Hopefully people like it. Maybe they won't like it, but hopefully they will. And I guess in a sense, it's also my expectations for this. I don't want things to be like this. I always said, I think I said this in my first video actually, that I wanted to make a podcast. I wanted to speak in front of the camera, and I wanted people to watch it and sort of, be able to express myself. And I just like speaking. I thought it was gonna be a nice thing, sort of, a nice hobby to have a podcast. And I was learning English so hard because of that. I was like, ooh, I need to be perfect at English before I can start my podcast, because only then people will care about it. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I always had this sort of like performative soul in this whole plan of making YouTube videos. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of sad, but I really don't want things to turn into that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to prevent myself from showing myself in front of the camera. Like I said previously, both in my short form and my long form content, I said that I want to embrace my imperfections. I want this to become sort of my personal brand, or some part of me that people feel I like, like they feel identified by, something like that. I forgot the word for that. Either way, which is like, just embracing your imperfections. You're not a perfect speaker right now. That's fine. You're not a perfect thinker. Your ideas are flawed. That's great. You know what I'm saying? You don't look your best. Perfect. Who cares? Just embrace that. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're not being an asshole and you embrace that, everything is fine. You're being an asshole. You had a terrible thought. Your opinion was completely polarizing, and now you have to say sorry about it. You actually, sit with yourself, understand yourself, and understand that whatever thought you had, whatever opinion you had, was wrong. You just stand corrected, and that's how you move forward. That's how you grow. That's the type of vibe that I want to sort of convey to my audience, to that I want to sort of share in all of my videos. And I love the fact that at some point, I think 2 years ago it was, that I make that video. Because back in the day, dude, I didn't even want to make videos on YouTube. I felt so scared. I was like, people are not going to like the way I look. People are not going to like my English. This is going to be lame. This is going to stay on the internet forever. And it's going to be lame. But nowadays, it's like, sure, it's going to be lame. Fuck it. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to show up. I'm going to do the thing that I want to do. I'm not going to wait until I'm perfect for things to happen. I'd much rather things to happen and be poorly made or perform poorly, even if it is well made, as long as it happens. I'm not going to be an obstacle for myself. If I so happen to have a bad English, if I so happen to be, dumb, to have dumb opinions, if I so happen to have bad devices, bad gear to make my YouTube videos, if the background noises are too loud, at least that will be the worst thing that could happen to my content, and not just me being insecure and just me being afraid of what other people will think. At least even if all of those things are not working perfectly, because I'm not going to say that they're against me, but if those things are not perfectly fit for me to do something, at least I won't be against me. At least I won't be another deterrence for, greatness. It's a great thing to say, huh? And yeah, dude, I have some videos that I wish I could edit and share here, but I actually cannot because I shot them in my barely working phone, and they don't look that nice, and also I guess the format is not ideal for my computer. I think it has to be like MP4 or something, and it's not. So I might take some time, but I actually made a really nice video. I really liked it. I mean, also my friend was there, so I will give him some credit. You actually wouldn't watch the video by then, so I hope you like it. I will really like it, and by I will really like it, I mean like we'll watch it in the future, and I'm pretty sure I will be very proud of like what we did, because he also sort of opened up to us, really, not only to me, to us, about his insecurities, the things that he works on. I that I'm also sort of an anxious person. He's also an anxious person, and maybe more than I am. Not more than I was, because I was at the same level as him and I was able to work out of it, and I'm pretty sure he could do the same. He's actually been very good at it lately, and I like seeing sort of like other people growing, other people like getting out of that hole, because for me it's like a negative state to be in. I feel like a lot of people are sort of you can sort of coddle other people and tell them that it's fine. However, I tell them all the time, you have to step up. You have to try to like break out of this fear, because if you continue accepting it, you continue condoning this behavior, you're never gonna change. You know what I'm saying? And I do that to him because I went through it. You know what I'm saying? I looked stupid all the time, and I try to laugh at my dumb things, like I previously said, and I also try to sort of share those ideas with them, and hopefully they help him. And I think they have, because he's been growing a lot. But sometimes it's you just have to nudge them a bit more, maybe push them a bit. So yeah, I will try to sort of get some part of this video for my TikTok and whatnot, because I've been doing a challenge for 500 days. What am I saying? For 100 days, I should post a video every single day for 100 days. And honestly, I don't know what I got myself into. It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to come up with ideas of videos to make, and some of the videos are also turning into, like I said, performance, because most of them are not even like me. You know what I'm saying? Though most of them are just me trying to come up with something good. Just something that will look good in the channel, which I don't want to do, but it's pretty much inevitable. That's why I just from this point forward, I think I'll just sit and speak in front of the camera when I have something to say. I won't worry about whether what I have to say is good or whether what I have to say is like um, at least interesting. I just have something to say and I will say it, and we're gonna see how it does. We will see how it does. So I think that's everything for today. I hope everything is good on your side, and see you soon. Hopefully, very soon. I was actually hesitant to do that. I don't know. I really appreciate sort of like what I'm doing right now with myself. I feel like, even though there's not many people watching at this point on the other side, is some sort of like I want to express what I'm doing right now because I feel like it probably might look weird, but there's some sort of like love and appreciation towards what one does. Does that make sense? It's like when you do something and you are thankful for doing that, like thankful to yourself for doing that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some people have many ways to express that. Maybe they treat themselves on something. Maybe they do something nice for themselves. Maybe they take breaks. For me, most of the time, it's just speaking to myself and telling myself, like, damn, you're doing well. You know what I'm saying? And in this case, of course, I mean, I blew a kiss not to myself. I blew a kiss to whoever is watching this. But, you know, for me, making these videos, at some point, it was something that was not even an option, you know. But now I'm doing it, and I'm learning how to break out of that productive mindset. So I guess that was my way to express that. Um, Damn, I forgot. I had a thought right there, and I wanted to talk about it, but I lost it. Dang it! I don't even know what it was. Fuck, there he goes. Well, I guess there he goes. I was actually very excited to address that, but forgot it. Damn. Anyhow, I hope you have a good day, and see you on another video. Is that dirty?